6 months ago, I was at an all-time low. Every morning I'd wake up tired, unmotivated, dreading the day. I'd scroll my phone, waste time, procrastinate, and tell myself I'll get it together tomorrow. But tomorrow never came. I was skipping workouts, procrastinating everything, and falling into this loop where I hated how I looked, I hated how I felt, and I hated how I was living. But I just couldn't seem to change it. Even though on the outside everything looked great, on the inside, I was miserable. Most days honestly felt like a dark cloud hanging over everything, and I was just drifting through the day. I knew I wanted a purpose, but all I had was frustration because deep down I knew I was wasting my life. Now, everything is different. I'm up at 4 a.m., building something that matters to me, getting after it in the gym, and I'm still doing all of this while working a full-time demanding job. And I'm not perfect, but I'm proud of the man I'm becoming. And here's exactly how I flipped everything and how you can too. Right now, you might relate to this deeply. Maybe you also feel stuck, like you're just floating through life with no direction, you're overwhelmed, you're unmotivated. It honestly felt like I was in the woods just lost without a compass. And I used to binge all these motivational videos, Jordan Peterson, about, taking responsibility and building a meaningful life. And I'd get fired up, write down my goals in a notebook, promise myself things would change. And then for about a week, I'd grind, I'd work hard. Then life would hit, that loop would hit, work stress, lack of sleep, distractions, and I'd crash. Back to scrolling, wasting time, and just beating myself up for repeating this loop. That cycle had a hold on me for years. So what changed? I hit my breaking point. One night I stumbled across this stoic phrase, memento mori. It hit me hard, and it basically just means remember you are going to die. And I realized I was living like I had all the time in the world, like I could afford to waste years waiting for the perfect moment to start chasing my goals. But the truth, we don't know how much time we've got. I could die tomorrow. I could die today or in the next hour, and so could you. And that thought didn't just depress me and beat me down, it freed me. It helped me stop caring so much about what people thought. I stopped overthinking so much. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment because you only get one shot at this life. Guys, this isn't a video game. Like, we don't have respawns. I used to start and stop so many things from business ideas, jobs, and hobbies. And every time something got challenging or hard or the excitement kind of wore off, I'd quit and then I'd chase the next high of something new. And I always knew I wanted these big goals, but I never stuck with anything long enough to actually get results. Then I had this thought, if I keep living like this, I'm gonna wake up 10 years older, still stuck, still unfulfilled, still wondering why I didn't change my life. And that scared the hell out of me because imagine, like, if you're a miserable person right now, if you want out of this trap, like you feel like you're boxed in, zoom out and think 10 years from now. Like, dude, you're gonna be older. Like, things are gonna be more challenging because the older you get, the more life demands from you, more responsibilities, more pressure, and then just less time for yourself. And I remember this vividly. I was standing in my kitchen, it was about 6 months ago, talking to my girl, and I'd hit my breaking point. I said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm changing my life. I'm chasing my goals. I don't care how I feel. I don't care what the day brings to me. I'm sticking to a plan. I'm not starting and stopping anything else. I'm sticking to the plan. And the major unlock for me was just building the routine because I knew if I didn't have a plan, if I didn't have a routine, the same thing would happen. That same loop that I was trying to escape from years and years. The routine is what changed it. That was my real problem. I didn't have a plan. I wanted to achieve these goals, but I let life pull me wherever. I'd wake up whenever, I would do whatever, train when I felt like it, work on my goals when I felt like it, or if I had time. That doesn't work. Life is always going to throw distractions at you. If you don't create structure, the chaos will consume your time and energy. You have so many emotions and thoughts each day that if you just follow a random one at any time, of course it will put you in the opposite direction. You need your plan and to stick to it regardless of how you feel. So for me, I started time blocking my days, literally writing out what I do each hour. And at first it felt robotic, but it gave me control because if you really think about it, how are you going to reach a destination if you don't have a map, if you don't have a plan to follow? And through trial and error, I found that I needed a deep work block, a time where it was just me, my thoughts, and my goals. No distractions, no notifications. I found that the only time I could truly focus was early morning. After work, I'm drained. I tried to stay up late at night, but it always just threw me off the next day as well as, the next day's gym session because I was always too tired. I was just too distracted and mentally exhausted. So I thought, if I get up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., before the world is awake, before text, emails, notifications, in those 1 to 2 hours before my job, I focus on what matters most, my fitness, my content, my future goals, that's where the needle is going to move. And I don't hope I have time anymore. I make time every single day. And the major thing and the big thing I want to push across in this is whether I feel like it or not. You hear that phrase all the time, but it's truly what changed my life is I have my plan. I make the time every single day. And here's what really helped me just get all of this in motion. I asked myself, if I had already achieved my goal, what would my daily actions look like? Because at the end of the day, if you just think of where you want to be or somebody that's there that you're inspired by and you reverse engineer how they got there, you're going to get pretty close. It's like, what do your daily actions need to look like? So I thought about my goals. I broke that into hours. And if my goal is to be successful with fitness and grow my YouTube channel to help people, I'm going to need time to train hard, time to prep food, time to learn, time to work on the business, and then time to recover. No more guesswork. I don't think about it. I just show up and execute the plan. Now think of the opposite. What if I woke up whenever? I just ate random food because I'm not prepared. I half-assed my gym sessions because I didn't schedule it. And I just, went at random times. I don't work on my YouTube because I waited until the end of the day and now my brain's all foggy and I'm exhausted. If you just break down the actions you need to take, you can reach the goal. The pain pushed me to change. So running away from that 10-year self of being that same person that I didn't want to be. Memento mori killed the fear. It killed the fear of not taking action. It allowed me to just zoom out and think, dude, life is finite. Like we all have an expiration date. Like no matter what someone thinks about your goal, you just do it. You just take the action. The purpose gave me direction. The routine has created the structure. And then discipline beats motivation because I work whether I feel like it or not. And then the progress from all of that creates the momentum and the motivation after that. So some days you're not going to have the motivation. That's where the discipline comes in. But then when you see you're creating that momentum and that progress, that's where you get motivated. So it comes in waves. But regardless of how I feel, I still take the action. And if you feel lost, I get it. I was stuck for years waiting for something to magically change. It doesn't work like that. You have to build a routine. Reverse engineer your goal, time block your day, and just keep showing up. Keep stacking the days, stacking the bricks, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between staying average or becoming the man you're meant to be. It's your life, so take control of it. Take action, man. All right, so take number 2. Told myself I was gonna do this in one take. And as soon as I started to talk, my dog started yelping and yapping inside the house. That's why I try to get up early, man, is to knock out some things before the world wakes, before family wakes, my dogs wake, and, just get after my goals. So that threw me off a little bit. But if you were still here after that voiceover, then I appreciate you, man. I just make content to try to be, relatable, authentic, and just show you guys kind of the day-to-day. And this voiceover would have been on, my routine. And lately I've been talking about routine so much is because it's what truly changed my life. And I'm just going to make this pretty quick. I'm not going to go on like a 20-minute tangent, but I just wanted to hit the topic a little bit harder and really dig into this and help you guys if you're struggling. So the reason I talk about routine so much is because it's what took me from being someone who was lost, no direction. I honestly was pretty irritable each day, was a pretty angry person. And I think a lot of times it's because I knew that I had a lot of potential inside of me and my soul was calling me to do certain things and I was ignoring it. And so, this voiceover, I'm not sure, where I'll go in those topics, and I might repeat myself here because I haven't recorded it yet. But the number one thing that you can do and the thing that kind of saved me and helped me was the first thing being living in day tight compartments. I actually read that in a book called Start Living and Stop Worrying, or Stop Worrying and Start Living, something like that. I think it's by Napoleon Hill, and I could be wrong, or maybe Dale Carnegie, one of those guys. So in that book, they talk about living in day tight compartments. And, you might be similar to me, to where you have these big goals, or you have these big tasks that kind of overwhelm you, and you're like, man, it almost feels impossible. Like, how am I going to go from the person I am right now to then reaching these? But when you think about living in day tight compartments, it makes you understand, okay, when I wake up, if I do A, B, C, D, and then I repeat that, the universe is not going to be against you. Like, you will reap what you sow. So the reason I talk about routine so much is I went from being someone who was lost, not reaching my goals, wanting to make YouTube content, wanting to start a channel, wanting to do all these things. But I thought like I would just wake up and just automatically, I gotta get some water, my mouth is dry from that gym session. I thought I would just wake up and automatically do those things. And that's why I talk about having a plan, having a routine, planning tomorrow today, is because when you wake up, if you just let your feelings and your emotions pull you around, it's like the next thing you're eating some, bullshit food, you're scrolling on your phone, and then 2 hours has went by, and now your brain's not as sharp as it was if you would have just woke up and hit your goals. Like, guys, you have to have a plan. And I'm like living proof of this. Like, I went from somebody, I'm repeating myself again, that was all over the place, to now I'm waking up at 3 and 4 a.m. I've been doing it for over 6 months now. My business is growing. I'm becoming more disciplined than ever. My body's growing. All of this comes down to just having that daily routine and sticking to it. So living in day tight compartments, the reason that is so powerful is because it'll take all the overwhelm away. You're not going to be like, dude, how am I going to get that dream house? Or how am I going to get this business to whatever revenue goal? Or how are you going to just, whatever your goal is, like, reverse it, man. Just be like, what could I do today? What could I do by the hour? Like, what are the tasks that I need to do to get there? And then all you have to do is do those things, reflect on your goal every single day. So when I wake up, I go straight to my computer, and I always start these like cinematic shots and stuff, probably like 20, 30 minutes after I wake up. But I'll probably start showing you guys like exactly what I do when I wake up. But as humans, like, we're pretty forgetful because our emotions are all over the place. A lot of times because of your lifestyle, your diet, all these different things I won't get into, but you have to remind yourself every day of what you're doing. At least I do, because I'm an overthinker. Like, I can be fired up like I am today, and I'm like, my purpose is to, help people grow. Like, my coaching business is growing, getting clients. Like, I can be thinking about this fitness goal, and then tomorrow I can wake up and I'm just like, man, like, what's the purpose of all this? Like, what am I even doing? And by waking up and going straight to my computer and then reading my goals, like, and literally talking in present tense, like, I have this, I have financial freedom, I reach these different things, it flips your brain. And even on the days I'm feeling like shit or I don't want to do the things, when I read that, I remember, okay, I just have to do these daily tasks. So the takeaway of this video, if you made it this far, is live in day tight compartments. Read that book if you want to learn more about it, but it's essentially just living from the day you wake up, or the time you wake up, to the end of the day. And as long as you do what you know you should do and you do the task, you will eventually reach the goal. Obviously, luck plays a factor. Opportunities are dealt different to many people. Like, you might have grown up very bad or very good, or right in the, like, I don't know your situation, but I do know that if you plan and you know exactly what you're going to do each day and you implement, the most beautiful thing about it is when you set this goal, it's like your body has this like compass, and it just kind of like blurs out all of the things that aren't going to get you to that goal and just makes you kind of focus on the things that will. And an example is like, I've wanted to make YouTube content. I've wanted to sit down and talk in front of a camera without getting anxious, without like, just worrying and overthinking and caring about what people think, and like share the message that's in my soul. And the way that I finally did that is I just took action, and I sucked at first. Like, I'm still not the best at, talking on camera. I'm kind of all over the place, but what I'm trying to get to is like, whatever you want to do, you just start, you just implement, you take action, you do it every single day, and you will get better. because we all start at the bottom with the skill. Like maybe you're skinny right now and you watch my content because you're inspired to build muscle. You just have to keep following the damn plan. Follow it every single day. Put in the work. Do not stop. Do not listen to your brain, because we have, like I heard this saying, it's like your thoughts are like clouds. You know, there's like thousands or millions of clouds in the sky and they're just coming and going. That's your thoughts, man. Just shut those off, because they don't really dictate reality. What dictates reality is the actions you take to get the results of the inputs. So do the inputs every single day. Find whatever routine works for you. Maybe you're a night owl. Maybe you're like me and you want to wake up early. Waking up early changed my life. But I hope you guys found value. If you are here more for the fitness stuff and like you kind of watch because you enjoy my content, but some of the discipline mindset stuff isn't, really what you're here for, I'm actually planning to start a second channel, and I'm going to call it Average to Jacked, because that's like my brand. And basically I'm going to be doing like daily uploads or weekly uploads of every single workout, and kind of just talking about fitness on that channel. That way I can still, I guess, live my passion of speaking about the things I'm speaking about now, and then kind of separate the fitness stuff. So this channel will still involve fitness. It'll still talk about my workouts. But if you want the real tactical stuff, then look below this video. There should be a link to my channel. There probably won't be any videos yet, but it's going to be called like Average to Jacked. So if you're here for the fitness content, subscribe to that new channel. It's going to be a pretty short video today. I know the last couple uploads have been like 40 minutes, but we still have our house to finish. Like my flooring's halfway done. There's still stuff everywhere in the house. So I got to make this video short this week and then get straight to it, because I still work a full-time job, as most of you guys know. But I appreciate each and every one of you who continue to like the videos, subscribe, comment. It's awesome, man. I'm literally living out a passion and a dream, and I'm just going to keep pushing. So I appreciate you guys. Peace.